The Sealer Group is a small accounting firm that was created by Craig Lloyd in 2010. Craig Lloyd is an accountant that was born and raised in Boston. There he went to school and got a degree in accounting and economics, and later on he got a master's in financial leadership. Not soon after graduating from his master's, Craig found a job in a regional accounting firm. He worked there for around 6 years until he got laid off. On his interview, Craig described this period of time as his lowest point ever. He felt he was brutally depressed and didn't know what to do with his life. Through friends, he was able to secure a job in a way smaller accounting firm. It was owned by an older guy who had no desire to grow the company. After a couple of months of working there, he realized that he could use this as an opportunity. Since the owner of the firm didn't have any desire of expanding or even continuing the practice after a couple of years, Craig decided to take on new clients on his own. This did not bother the boss at all. On the other hand, his boss was very helpful and would give him advice on how to get new clients, because he saw in Craig that desire and spark that he had when he was younger. So this is when Craig's entrepreneur path began. He saw the opportunity of getting new clients with the help of a mentor, and he went on from there. And after 2 years, in 2010, he decided to leave, and he founded the Ceballos Group, which operates now in California. After my interview with Craig, I learned a few things about the Ceballos Group. First of all, Craig is the sole owner and only employee of the Ceballos Group. Craig says he likes to do all the work himself because that's why people choose him as their accountant, because he deals with them directly and there's no middleman or employee. They get the real deal with him. We also discussed his marketing strategy. He told me that the only marketing he does is on social media, like in Facebook, and he goes to a few networking events during the year to present and offer his services to other people. Craig's reason for being an accountant is to help people. He said that when people leave his office or if they're done with a phone call or they're thanking him for his services, he knows that he makes those people's life a little bit easier. Just by doing his taxes, he's just taking a little bit of the weight of everyone's shoulders. Another thing that was discussed was the fact that in 2016, Craig was able to purchase 50% of the firm where he used to work before opening his own business. So now he's 100% owner of the Ceballos Group, and he has 50% ownership in another company. From my interview with Craig, I gather that he's really happy with the job that he's doing. He's very passionate about it. He has a strong will. He likes to treat the clients with respect, and that's what differentiates him from the competition. However, I think he's missing the chance of growing his business by being only him in the company. I think if he got another employee, or maybe two, he could definitely expand the business. Also, he needs to work on his marketing strategy, make sure people know who he is. Most of his clients are right now in Boston, and he's been living in California for 5 years. So I don't see why he's not putting the effort in getting clients locally as he lives here now. I think he has a great opportunity. He just needs to take advantage. I think right now he's really enjoying the work of the technician, and that technician just knocked that entrepreneur down, and he's sleeping. So I think it's time to wake him up, because he seems to have a very solid business. I don't see why he's not growing it. I think Craig is a great example of an entrepreneur being made. I don't think he even think himself as an entrepreneur. I just noticed that when he was at his lowest, he was able to pull himself through and see a vision and just know what he wanted and went for it. He didn't even get a second thought. He didn't think whether he was or he wasn't an entrepreneur. He just had a dream of working on his own, and he did it. He was able to pull it off. So I think this is just evidence that entrepreneurs are actually made. They're not born. Is Craig a leader or a manager? I would say he's more of a manager than a leader right now. I think he has qualities that are leaders because he has vision and he has that stubbornness that a leader, to make the dreams come true. But he hasn't been showing those lately. He did when he started his business, but after he got to that one goal, he doesn't seem to have other. I mean, the fact that he doesn't have other employees to lead says a lot. So I would say that right now, Craig is more of a manager. He manages his own company, and he does a great job. But he wants to be a leader. He needs to have a new vision and go for it, like he did a few years ago. The Sealer Group is currently at the infant stage. Craig is just acting as a technician, yes, because he loves what he's doing, but the entrepreneur and the manager are pretty much asleep. Um, I think that in order for him to go to the next level, he needs to hire some help so he can focus on growing the business. This will naturally lead him to a adolescent stage and then into a mature stage. I think the company has potential, like I said before. He just needs to realize that he cannot operate his business if it's going to grow. Even if it's growing slowly, the workload is going to eventually catch up to him. So he might as well just hire someone soon, train them in the way he wants, to make sure that the company is run the way he wants by the time it is big enough for him to hire someone. I wouldn't wait. I would just act right now. For the development strategies, I would use as an advice for Craig. This is what I would do. I would suggest Craig to first create an organizational chart for his organizational strategy. If he really wants to grow his business, I would suggest him to sit down and think about what kind of job positions he needs to fill in his company, what kind of help that he needs. He needs to figure out who's going to run what and who's going to run what and what he's going to do. I know he's scared that he's going to lose the factor that makes people come to him, which is him. But I don't necessarily see it that way. I think there's ways to work through if you want to use these development strategies, managerial strategies. I would say that Craig continues being the manager until the company becomes a little bit bigger that he can't handle. But for now, if he hires 2 or 3 employees, I think he can manage it. I think it would be the best way to teach everyone how he likes things done, and to develop this relationship with employees so they understand him and he understands them, and that everyone knows what the vision and mission of his company is at the end of the day. For people strategy, I would recommend him just to treat people with respect and mentor his employees just like he was mentored once. I think people appreciate that, and just make sure that the people you hire are as passionate about helping people like you are. Not just about accounting, but just passionate about helping others, which is what makes the Sealer Group better than other accounting firms. Marketing strategy, I would just suggest him to find someone that specializes in marketing that can develop a plan for him to get new clients in this new city for him. I think social networks and networking events are okay, but I don't think he's doing enough. I think you need to sit down and also think what's the best way to reach those people. I mean, everybody does taxes, so there's plenty of ways that you can get to new clients. Be careful if you grow it fast enough, you're going to have to get help. So it's always better to be prepared going back to that organizational strategy. And finally, system strategy. Um, I would develop a plan. If people love Craig, I would develop a plan that every employee that works for me looks like Craig. When somebody comes to the Celia group and Craig's not available, I would love to see them come and think that even Craig is not there. You feel like you're with Craig. So develop a plan and scripts the way people move, people say, that can create your own ways of doing things. Just teach them to your employees, and I think that will help counter that fear that you have of people not coming back if you don't personally take care of them. To close out this presentation, I want to say that I was impressed by the way Craig was able to create his business, but also as much as impressed at how he seems to be stuck now. I think it's important to notice big things because as a business owner and as a person, I think we all go through these rough paths in our lives. Sometimes we get comfortable and we don't see that there's other ways to do things. So I think it's important to notice what he's going through because at some point we're all going to go through them. We're all going to hit high and low levels in our lives. It's okay. It's fine as long as you realize you're in them. I think in the future Craig will do great. I think he's ready to take the next step after talking to him. So I'm excited for his future. I will definitely be keeping tapped on his business to see how it goes, if it grows or it doesn't. I was also take away the fact that everyone's dream is attainable. I mean, we call people entrepreneurs when we see these huge multimillionaires, but that doesn't mean a tax accountant can be an entrepreneur or someone that wants to open a restaurant. You know, there's many levels of entrepreneurship, and they're all okay. That's what I take away from this exercise. If you want to go on and own your business, just do it. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you or you're not an entrepreneur. What matters is that you make yourself happy and make others happy along the way.